In the beginning, there was nothing. And then God, who created the universe, spoke, and things came to be. From the clouds in the sky, to the grass and the flowers in the field. Honestly, everywhere you look, God himself spoke, and those things came into existence. Also, we see the creation of God in human form by way of Adam and Eve. The beautiful thing behind that is that Adam and Eve got to walk and talk and fellowship with God, the Creator, in the Garden of Eden. In the garden, honestly, Adam and Eve had it made. They were fulfilling what God had created them to do, which was to walk in this intimacy and fellowship with Him. But sadly, they chose to throw it away. They chose sin instead of the intimacy that they already had. See, sin, it separates us from a holy God. The truth of the matter is, He can't stand it. Right? And what happened with Adam and Eve was that from then on they were banished from the garden. They were taken away from this intimacy with God to walk in this life of emptiness and desolation. So there we were in our desolation and sin. In order for sin to be blotted out in the eyes of God, every year an animal sacrifice had to be made, but it was never enough. But God, seeing us in our hopelessness, sent His Son, Jesus Christ, fully God and fully man, to walk among us, to live with us. Yet He did not sin. Now here's the part that I don't understand at all, honestly, is that this sinless man, this perfect man, would choose to give himself up for him. He was mocked. He was beaten. And ultimately, he was sentenced to a death for crimes that he didn't even commit. And not just any ordinary death. Death by way of the cross. And as he hung there, as Jesus Christ hung there, gasping for air, not only bearing the excruciating physical pain, he bore something so much greater. And that was the sins of the world, the sins of you and me. And with his last breath, Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, shouted, "It is finished." And then he died. And for 3 days, sin ruled. Because if Christ is dead, what hope do we have against sin? But here's the beautiful thing. On the third day, Christ rose from the tomb. And in doing so, He made a way for us to be reconciled back into that intimate relationship with Him. So what does that mean for us today? I mean, look, it's so easy to hear a message like this and maybe turn a skeptical eye away, or just agree and have this cognitive thought process that you believe in it. But the truth of the matter is, this message and its power requires a response. And that's in one or two ways, honestly. The first one is this: you can choose to reject it, or you can choose to believe that Jesus Christ was all that he said that he was, right? And that he was the only way for us to be able to be reconciled back into this intimate relationship with God. And how that happens is you've got to choose to turn away from the life that you're living and choose to put your total faith and trust in who Jesus Christ